Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast Reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Naruto episode 130? 130. What happened last time?
Last time we got a bunch of flashbacks, good flashbacks, of Sasuke's past and sort of more into his relationship with Itachi and sort of Itachi, a lot of information on Itachi actually, a lot, which we talked about last time, but I'm interested to see this episode if we get any more flashbacks with Itachi, or if we just, like, if now is when the fight is really going to start. I wouldn't mind either way.
Well, only one way to find out, and that's to watch more Naruto. We're going to get into this after we tell you to check out our Patreon to get 5 episodes ahead or 1 week ahead on this show and many others on our channel. And like and subscribe if you enjoy it and you want to see more Naruto stuff. And this is not a market substitute. Watch on Netflix. Watch on Crunchyroll. We provide our reaction review. We don't provide a free alternative for you to watch the show outside of legal channels. We use some of the footage in these videos as reference, but it is not to steal traffic or revenue from Netflix, from Crunchyroll, or from Naruto as a series. This is our content, and we're using this as an aid. Hopefully you guys enjoy our reaction and review to this episode of Naruto. Just a reminder, since this is a pretty important part of the story, I've seen Naruto before. Multiple times. I know what's going to happen. Lindsay does not, and I'm kind of guiding her through this and coming along for the ride. But we hope you enjoy our reaction to this episode of Naruto. Let's go.
Let me show you the true power of the Sharingan.
Okay, I guess that means I can stop going easy on you. Go on and fire up that Sharingan of yours. I don't want you to miss a thing. When I hit you with my way of the shinobi, Shadow Clone Jutsu!
Are you joking me, Naruto? This has, never worked for you.
What will that do? 10 times 0 is still 0. Thanks to the Sharingan, I knew which was the real you all the time. I played along for old time's sake. Now, playtime's over.
Ow.
Firestyle, Fireball Jutsu! Good morning to you, Father.
Ah, yes. Good morning. Tell me, how's everything going at the academy?
Some of the lessons are a little boring, but I'm always top of my class.
Firestyle! Fireball Jutsu! This is the key jutsu of our clan. The next step is to build up your chakra and focus it to a point in your chest, then force it up through the throat and out the mouth. Now you try it.
Right. Father's actually teaching me the jutsu himself. He's finally giving me a chance to show that I matter too. I can't disappoint him. I can do it! Firestyle! Fireball Jutsu!
Why did I think you would be like Itachi?
Why do you have to be such an asshole?
It's too soon. You're not ready yet.
Okay, today for sure. Firestyle! Fireball Jutsu!
Doesn't seem like the right day to be practicing this particular jutsu.
I'll show him. Burns down the village.
He burned his face. He's been training so hard.
No, don't go yet.
I like he looks exactly like his fucking mom.
Yeah.
Why did I think you would be like Itachi? It's too soon.
I mean,
You're not
Itachi
ready.
seems to be causing a lot of problems for you lately. Are you sure you want someone like him?
Okay, here we go. Father! Just once more. Will you come? Watch me one more time.
I told you it's too soon for you. I could teach you every day for a week and it wouldn't help.
No. Not teach.
I'll show you right now. Burns down the house.
I'm saying, I think I've got the hang of it, Father. Failure is not an option. Firestyle! Fireball Jutsu!
That's insane.
Like I said, it's too early for you.
Why is the dad just such a piece of shit?
Now then, that's my boy. You've done well. Work hard and you're bound to soar high. And to bring honor to that crest you wear on your back.
I will!
From now on, walk your own path. Not in the footsteps of your brother.
I thought that was the end of the episode. I was like, holy shit.
Why do they have 3 compartments in their fridge?
Maybe once for storing hot things?
Wondering about Itachi and me. What does Father really think of us?
What on earth makes you ask that?
It was something he said. The other day down on the dock, Father said to me, "That's my boy." That's something he's only ever said to Itachi. So it made me really happy to hear it.
Of course. And I'm glad it did.
But then I started to wonder, now that Father and Itachi aren't getting along, am I just someone to replace my older brother?
Your older brother's your older brother, and you're you. But your father has always cared very deeply about both of you.
He's only thought of Itachi before now!
Well, if it sometimes seemed that way, it's only because your father is a leader of the Uchiha clan. He has to make sure it's kept safe.
What's that got to do with it?
Your brother is the firstborn, and he's bigger than you are. And as the firstborn, he's going to have to assume his responsibilities earlier than you will. Since it's your father's job to look after the clan, it's only natural he'd want to be sure that Itachi's ready to take on his role. But I'll let you in on a secret. When we're alone and no one's around, the only one he talks about is you. He has a hard time showing it. It's how he is.
So I am the favorite.
I'll be as good as he is. I promise.
Pretty close.
Close.
Do you think you could help me out with my shuriken jutsu after school today?
I think this is what we've seen
I
so
can't.
far.
I'm busy.
Mm.
Why don't you go ask Father to help you?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and he was just
Way
being
better
kind of
at the
weird.
shuriken.
I'm sorry, Sasuke. Some other time, okay?
You're always doing this to me. You jab me in the forehead and then say, I'm sorry, Sasuke. And you never have time. It's always the same story.
That's an insane crack.
But still. Father? About Sharingan, is there more than one type of it?
What's this? So you're already thinking about Sharingan now? Well, don't. It's far too soon for you to be worried about that. It's not the same as Firestyle Jutsu.
But I'll have to know all about it someday. After all, I am your son.
Well, there is a visual jutsu that's a level above the Sharingan. It's called the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Mangekyo Sharingan.
It's an almost legendary jutsu. In the history of our clan, only a very few have been able to master it. What's more, it's said that it can be called forth only under very specific circumstances.
Specific circumstances.
Like what?
From now on, walk your own path. Not in the footsteps of your brother.
What does he think of Itachi and me? The way we are with each other? Father? Do you know why Itachi is always so cold to me?
He's a peculiar one, your brother. He's never cared about being liked or making friends or any of that.
But why is that?
I don't know. As his father, you'd think I would have a clue. But I don't.
This time I've been afraid to talk about Itachi and me. But it's okay. He doesn't mind. And he made Chunin when he was only 10. I've got the same Uchiha blood in my veins, don't I? If he can do it, I can do it. Is that really all you've got? Come on.
And how far you've come, Sasuke.
That was your way of the shinobi?
If you're not convinced yet.
I'll just have to spell it out for you! What are you waiting for? I want to see what the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja has got!
Ow.
Put some spin on that one.
Jeez.
So what'd you think of that one?
I'm kind of happy we got more flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks because like I know that this is just part of the. I mean, I guess it's like more than just part of the fight, but it's happening. We're only seeing these flashbacks because of the fight. But I would honestly be interested in just watching like the show of this.
Oh, like if this was
If
it
just
was
like this arc was
Naruto Sharingan instead of Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been funny. But yeah, it's really interesting. So that was like what we'd seen before.
But now with the context.
Now with the context of it wasn't always that way, even though Itachi had always been kind of weird to Sasuke, like he hadn't always just been like that cold and that weird of just like hitting him in the head, but like not in like a funny way. Like that one kind of seemed like a one last time for old time's sake.
Yeah. Kind of did.
One kind of like saying goodbye to him almost.
In kind of a fucked up way.
Yeah, in a really messed up way, but yeah. Yeah, and then we see that was like the same day Sasuke like sort of finally got on the same page with his parents of like actually talking to his dad.
Yeah.
About Itachi and being like, "Oh, I thought it was this huge deal." But it's not actually a big deal.
His dad is just as confused.
Itachi's just weird and my dad doesn't know what's going on and I don't know what's going on. So that's okay.
Yeah.
And it was just all okay. And then they all died.
And then it wasn't okay. for a long time. And even to this day, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry we aren't, like, talking very much during the reaction. I'm kind of trying to, like, mellow out for these because this is, like, a lot to take in.
Yeah, I don't want to, like...
And I don't want to be...
too much.
I feel bad for not, like, giving commentary a lot during it, but I just don't... I don't want to... Because this is all, like... All of this is very important information for, like, who Sasuke is and, like, the whole, relationships and what all this shit means. I don't want to be, like, talking over that because this is all, like, really relevant stuff.
Yeah, and they're really, like, packing it...
They
like,
are. It's really dense.
It's all relevant, which is a little bit uncommon for Naruto.
For sure. So I don't want to... That's so sorry if we're not, like... giving verbalizing a lot, and like I know a lot of people hate that, but
some people are probably pretty happy.
Hate that, but we're also not like emoting a lot. I noticed that, like, it's like we aren't really like wearing our heart on our sleeve in these videos, and I'm sorry if people think that that's kind of like, I don't know, lazy. We're not trying to be lazy. We're trying to like really understand
and also
what's
not
going
give
on.
A fake reaction,
not be fake, but all
and also nothing that's happening is like that unbelievable or that crazy, and it's all a flashback, so we kind of knew the whole time what Itachi did and how it all ended up, but now we have a better context for that and more information.
I just wanted to put that on the open. That's the reason why I brought it up, because I know that we're not like being all crazy and like I'm not making a cringy joke every 5 seconds. Hopefully people like that. But you know, I know some people will for sure. But I'm just saying that I'm not trying to like bring it away from the episodes. I'm just saying, for those who come here for our witty commentary, if there are any of you during the reaction, then sorry about that. We're just really trying to absorb everything, and I want to give you the full opportunity to like really get into it without me like spouting some bullshit all the time.
I would have thought it was so funny if Sasuke had just been a little bit not very smart. Like, okay, here's what I actually, and this is like kind of unrelated to the episode. This is one of our good jokes. So if like Naruto had been Sasuke in that situation of like learning the jutsu, he would have come home and been like, "Hey Dad, look at this," and then just burned down the house.
You think so?
I think he would have.
That would have been pretty funny.
Kind of like how my brother did that one time. I tell you, he was fishing my brother one time was practicing casting in the yard, and then he had been out there for like hours, and then he was like, "Hey Dad, look at this." Cracks open the window on like the upper part of the house that was like custom shape and like couldn't get replaced for a while. Yeah.
I think you did tell me about that.
Yeah, but that I was just envisioning a situation. I was just envisioning a situation like that of, like the dad's just like, I don't think you can do it. You're just not ready. Yeah, I am. Look. I
could take you out casting for a week and it still wouldn't do you any good. Yeah. So speaking about that, there's. So the Mangekyo Sharingan, which we've known about, but... Yeah,
we didn't quite know what it was, or like...
We still kind of don't.
We still kind of don't.
We know it's a level above,
and we kind of knew that before. Here's what I was going to say. I like that we got a little... Like, they mentioned it again, probably just as like a refresher to remind you, and to like give context about like the different shape. But it does also suck that the dad's like... It's a level up. And also, it only happens in like particular circumstances, and then doesn't elaborate at all.
Well, he was already he started the conversation with like, you don't need to know about this right now. So
I know, but it does just suck that it's like what circumstances, like plotting to murder your family? Is that this very specific circumstances that you can unlock that? I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
I don't know. What if it actually is just murdering someone from your own clan? And then Itachi actually killed that guy, unlocked it, and then just killed everyone else to become even more powerful.
Is that your prediction?
That's a theory. I wouldn't say that's like solid, because I don't necessarily know how that would work. Because you couldn't necessarily like...
I do. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
I know you're not. I know. I'm just I'm not like looking for an answer from you. I'm just.
I know you aren't. But you say something, you look over at me and don't say anything, and then I'm like sitting here trying to not give anything away as you take as I give away my drink because you steal it from me. Anyway, so that's your theory that those things might be connected in some way, like the murder plot that got introduced or something.
Yeah, or yeah. I just don't know what else it could be. Like, it has to be very specific circumstances. Doesn't happen very often. He doesn't seem like to be necessarily looking for that in Itachi, even though he's super gifted. I mean, potentially he is, but you know, like, I don't know. It just seems like if they don't really talk too much about it. It's very specific circumstances. Mm-hmm. Not many people have it.
Wait, in that conversation, did Sasuke say, hey, why does brother have the Mangekyo?
No.
So he just said, is there a level above the Sharingan, like as a non sequitur, like not related to that at all? Because we know Itachi
he said,
has
there different types of Sharingan?
Because like seeing Itachi now, we've heard him say Mangekyo Sharingan or something. When he was fighting Kakashi, he's just like, you don't understand. There's a level. I've achieved a level above or something.
Yeah, he's like, you just.
But I don't think we saw the shape change.
No, we didn't see the shape.
We only saw that just now. But yeah, so we don't know if the parents know that Itachi has it.
Yeah, and that also, they say it's very specific circumstances, but I think that means certain circumstances to, like, get to that level, not just to activate it every time.
Yeah.
Because obviously in that fight with Kakashi,
that was
just
hotel.
And in the hotel, that was just totally that was just a normal fight. That wasn't like a crazy circumstance.
Some crazy condition wasn't met every single time.
That it triggered the.
And there was no, like,
Sharingan.
in both the times that we saw him use it, there wasn't, like, a common thing.
No, there was nothing similar. It wasn't like
other than the only common thing would have been that Kakashi was there, used his Sharingan, and then Sasuke was around, used his Sharingan. That was the only thing that was, like, common.
Yeah.
In those things. But other than that, there were no, like, other characters that were around, except for Kisame.
And the situation of the fights were kind of different.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, his life was like, he was an inch from death and it activated and saved. It wasn't like that.
Well, in the second time, that might have been the case, because he used it in order to get out.
Yeah, but we also know that it takes a lot out of him.
Yes.
So, I don't think it is just activated in a circumstance. I think, like, you gain it from something specific, like potentially killing someone from your own clan, or like doing something related to that. Like, you like double up your power by kind of, you know, I don't know, kind of stealing other people's power. Although, yeah. Anyway, you kind of know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Oh.
I was just looking over there.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like it's something like that. At least from what we found out, and I doubt we'll find out any more until we maybe meet Itachi again, because that was the last time Sasuke talked to his parents. So if they just showed us the same flashback, but for some reason his dad said more shit this time, that would be kind of weird.
It really, speaking of that, it is kind of, I don't know, when you see the death of his clan the first time, it's really fucking shocking, but you didn't know any of them. You think it's fucked up because this child, like, came home one day to find that everyone he's ever known in his life is dead, and then was forced to watch it. We find out in a later retelling of that, and then now in this third retelling of that, although we haven't gotten to, like, that point, we find now only in this third retelling do we actually attach, like, faces to names, or names to faces, I suppose.
Yeah,
where, like, we actually like the mom. She's really endearing, and she, like, really cares about both Itachi and Sasuke.
And the dad isn't as bad
as we thought, even last episode.
Yeah.
Like, he's like a very strict, firm but fair seeming type of dad of, you know, he's not going to overly coddle or encourage Sasuke. He's going to he was using sort of the I'll prove him wrong type of tactic, it seems like, or just not letting Sasuke find that inner strength in himself to
Yeah.
use, like, let him do his own thing, and then encouraging him after he's achieved that little bit of success of being like, now you forge your own path. Now that you've gotten to this
Yeah,
point,
but I
you've
feel
proven
like-
yourself as a true member of the Uchiha. That's what he said. He's like, only true members of the Uchiha. You don't become a true member of the Uchiha until you master the Firestyle.
Yeah.
And now that he's used the Firestyle, the Fireball Jutsu, he's proven himself. Now he can, like, go do his own thing, and his father was able to encourage him at that point when he,
Yeah,
deserved it.
the only thing that does suck, though, is, like, you can't really go back from that. Like, you can't spend the first, 7-8 years of your life being like, oh, you have to live up to your brother, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, you don't even worry about your brother, just do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, it kind of leaves a lasting impression when you...
because then, even then, after he's like, do your own thing, Sasuke's still just like, I'm gonna be better than Itachi. I'm gonna do the same move as him, but I'm gonna do it even better. So it wasn't
Well,
like...
he was also a kid, and, like, that's just how kids think.
I know, but it's just the kids are very impressionable, so...
And it clearly stuck with him.
And it definitely stuck with him.
Definitely left a
But
lasting
what I'm
impression.
saying is, even though the dad meant well by saying, oh, you can just be yourself, like, you can do your own thing, it was kind of too little too late at that point.
Yes.
Although he didn't know he was going to die horrifically by his other son. But,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of sucks that it turned out that, because, like, that was completely, they didn't see that coming, I guess.
Yeah, true.
But
yeah, God, I love these fucking episodes so much, because this is exactly what the show needs, and I feel like it's interesting, just from a rewatch perspective, watching this shit, because early on in Naruto, I feel like there was some really, like it was so amorphous, and, like, it was just a ball of creativity and, like, inspiration, all these different aesthetics, and all these different ideas for the power system, and all these different concepts from real life, and what's the technology, what time period is this based off of? It's so, like, amorphous and, like, didn't decide anything, but there was clearly, like, some inspiration, like, spark there. As you go along, I feel like that's there, and it continues there. It never goes away, but like, especially in this last arc, you could tell each notch we went forward, it was more about the fights, less about the emotions.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like, it's hard to say, because it's also hard to say because we spend so much time between watches of this, especially recently. We haven't been, like, watching Naruto continuously for the past few weeks, so it feels like a longer time ago, and maybe this is, like, all in my head. Regardless, it just feels like this sort of batch of flashback episodes is exactly what I like Naruto for, where we're really, really setting the stakes and the emotional weight and really establishing what all this shit means before we actually get into the fight between Naruto and Sasuke.
yeah, and the thing, like, you mentioned it before, of last time we saw, like, Sasuke's whole backstory, we only saw a little bit of it, so, like, when we see everyone get killed, you didn't know any of them, and, like, from what it seemed like, it didn't seem like he was, like, had a good relationship with his brother at all, or, like...
Yeah.
And so then when his like, everyone dies, you're just like, well...
The first time, it's, like, really shocking, because it's... The first time, I don't know if you fully remember, it really struck me because I was rewatching it, but, like, when we're first... Because there's the episode where we see that whole flashback, and I think it's when it might be when Sasuke's waking up in the Forest of Death after being bitten by Orochimaru and coming in to save Sakura from and all the other kids, like, from the Sound Village, Genin.
Yeah.
He wakes up, but as he's going through this whole dream and remembering everything, but the way, especially the show sets that up, is so chilling. It's so fucking crazy, because he just comes home from school one day and everything is just dark, and like, he comes home and it's dead quiet. He goes home and finds his parents' bodies, like, or he enters sort of the Uchiha ghetto of, like, this whole, like, community, and then finds his a bunch of bodies in the street, runs home, finds his parents and Itachi standing over their bodies, covered in fucking blood, and, like, with his sword out.
Yeah, but at that point, you have, like, you don't even know anything about them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's it had its own kind of weight, but it definitely wasn't what it did. I would rather them tell all of this shit now, because it matters the most now, and have the last bit just be shock value, kind of, or, like, sort of sad for Sasuke, but I don't really care personally. I don't really care about all the people that were dead because they weren't actually characters. They are just a motivation for Sasuke.
Yeah.
That's fine then, and this is fine now. I like it. I like the way that it was sort of parsed out because each time we get like a Sasuke-esque or a Sasuke-focused fight or arc, that we peel back the onion layer just a little bit more into what the fuck happened that night and what happened before and what it all means for him and for the people around him and everything. I like the way that they spaced out the information. I think it's really well done.
It's also better that they just did it for the first time now, because I guarantee 100% had they already shown all of this, they would have just shown it again right now.
That's true.
In like a shittier format as a flashback.
Yeah.
To remind you.
But that's why I'm saying it's good writing and because I imagine, and I'm not sure, but you're right. If the studio had the opportunity to show this earlier, I think they would have done it to pad for time. And I think they would have shown it again because they animated it earlier to pad for more time.
Yeah.
So I think it's a testament to Kishimoto's writing ability, and I know we shit on it a lot in regards to like female characters and stuff like that, but there is a lot that he does right because he really knows what he's doing in terms of like staying true to the characters and the story that he's telling most of the time. This is a case where that's true because I would assume because the studio didn't show this earlier and a million times in the exact way that we've seen it, that it was probably written into the manga at this point, and the manga probably took like a good fucking 5 to 10 chapter break between the fight to fully acclimate you with exactly what Sasuke's thinking about at this moment. So anyway, I don't know. Hope that is at least interesting in some way, because I find all this really interesting on a rewatch, and just, you know, in general it's really cool. I think that Naruto gets a bad rap for being like just a power of friendship because of the shit that we just got out of, and I think that this is what I really fell in love with Naruto, these episodes and like this part of the story, and a lot into Shippuden, but particularly this really is what I remember about Naruto, all of this stuff. This is what made me really fall in love with it, not just be the cool show that I was watching at the time. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And you can get a week ahead on Patreon. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially those in the Student Council.
Zenge,
John Ortega,
Aurora,
Lewis,
Christian Bay,
Kage Uzumaki,
Dreadful XR,
Xiao Lao,
Brian,
Handicap Bonkai,
D23L,
Charles Liu,
Jude Caspino Buford,
Nick Psycho,
Michael Wells,
King Mr. Mew,
Rifleman Z51,
Thelmus Celetius,
Brandon Bruce,
Yankee,
Vanonian,
Yuki Ali,
Mord Tarragon,
Josh Carey Gray,
Jordan Agnew,
Lolly Convict,
Redacted,
Zachary Porth,
Mohammed Burnham Ahmed,
Michael E. Zabel,
Callum Forsyth,
Nicholas Woody,
Soma Yukahara,
Dogs Free,
It's Your Boy Dom,
Christian Nielsen,
Phantom,
Quant Tuggle,
Proyectos Informatica,
Sugar Daddy Alex,
Tara.
Hunter Wayne Germany. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.